Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom, Shabbat.
And Shabbat Shalom to the viewing audience. Thank you for joining us again on this Shabbat day. And we give the Master Yahushua thanks and praise, and to the Master Yahweh. And we just thank you for tuning in with us. Today we want to explore a couple of areas that would probably make sense to you in a few minutes. So we're going to go to the Word. We're going to go to the Word, straight to the Word. All right?
Hallelujah.
And we're going to go to Genesis chapter 11. All right, Genesis chapter 11. And all the earth had one language and one speech. And it came to be, as they set out from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar. And they dwelled there. The earth, all of the peoples of the world. So look at this. He said, all of the earth, they had one language. They had one language. We're going to check this out, how things have happened. What transpired. And it came to be, as they set out from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelled there. It was one language, one people, everyone pretty much look the same. You see, how could you say that when we have black, white, Chinese, European looking people, Asian? Now, I'm going to say some things to you today that might be shocking and might be appalling to some. When the Master created man, the only set of people that was on the face of the earth was black people.
That's for sure.
I'm going to show you that white people is not a race. It's going to be shocking. It's going to be appalling to some of you, but you'll see that black cows don't give out black milk. What kind of milk black cow give out? White milk. And you don't see white cows giving out black milk. Only give out white milk. So check this out. We will see that you could get white from black, but it's not the other way around.
That's good.
When the earth was in existence, and after the flood, we would see that there is only 3 brothers responsible with their wives Noah and his 3 sons and their wives, and they are responsible for replenishing the earth. Noah, being a black man with a black wife, had 2 black children. Would you say?
Yes, sir.
A rabbit having little ones would be what? What would come out?
Rabbits.
Little rabbits, right? You don't expect to see little dogs from a rabbit, or bunny eggs from a rabbit, right?
No Easter bunny.
No Easter bunny, no little chickens coming out from a rabbit.
Right.
All right? So you would expect that if you have black parents all the way around, you would have black children. I'm going to show you how things will go from greater to lesser.
Come on, break it down.
And how things would evolve with the condition of the land. And sometimes the land will take away from the original and then multiply itself into other areas. Stay with me. Verses 3 said, and they said to each other, come, let us make bricks. Let's stop and pause there for a minute. What is it that enslaved us? What were we doing when we were enslaved?
Making bricks.
We were making bricks. Whatever you take to come up against the master with is what's going to be your downfall. Whatever you try to use as your idol, your form of rejection of who the master is what he's going to use against you. And that will be your downfall. One race of people, one people, and what they're thinking about, let us make bricks. Before they were even down in Egypt, they are thinking of making bricks to do what? To go up to the heavens to confront the master. Or to see whether or not they could build something for themselves. Selfish bunch of people. They weren't doing it for him. No wonder why later on bricks become our downfall. Oh, check it out. So they decided they said to each other, we're going to make bricks and bake them thoroughly. And they had bricks for stone. And they had asphalt for mortar. You know, asphalt is tar, pitch. That's what they use. So they went to the pitch lake and got some asphalt, and they go and use that for mortar. Now, a lot of things I'm going to throw in there because, so you got to catch it. Asphalt is not white. Asphalt is what? It's tar. That's why henceforth they call you tar baby. So they took some asphalt, some black pitch, and they gonna use that against the master. Oh, he's gonna deal with that. One race of people, one people. And we're gonna see that, because some of you gonna say, well, what's about when they left Egypt and they had a mixed multitude? A mixed multitude don't mean that they were white and Chinese and all these other things. Mixed multitude just mean that there were some Egyptians, that there were some Hittites, that there was some Jebusite, that there was some Gergesite, and they all was black-eyed people. Come on.
Yes, sir. Praise yeah.
So it's the same set of people that is in one region that is going to disperse, and later on that the greater will then fall and the lesser would extract itself from it.
on, break it down.
Yes.
So
Praise yeah.
let's see. So anyone that how could you have an extraction that want to come and act like they're the original, and they want to come and act like they are greater than you, but they are the extraction from you?
That's good.
Oh, come on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's good.
So let's talk about it. And they said, come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower whose top is in the heavens. So again, these people had the construction knowledge. They're builders. They are the one building the pyramids. They're the one that started off with the tower. It wasn't Trump. They were the one. Our people had the master plan to build a tower. It was not that, or you call that the other tall one in Europe over there? The Eiffel Tower? That wasn't the Eiffel Tower. No. That plan came from our people to build a tower, to work with their hands and build, make mortar and build stone and make stone and bricks. Henceforth, we all become masons and so forth and so forth. Now they want to drag us into Freemason. Great. Hold up. I'll throw you some stuff there. So now he says, and make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered over all the face of the earth. So something that is working against them happened to them. Fear. Fear of what? Being separated. Fear of what? Being scattered. What happened to our people? That's exactly what happened to us. Everything that we were afraid of, everything that we tried to use against the master is what's going to be used against us. Fear is what our people is now embraced. We embrace fear more than we embrace our wives or our children. We embrace fear on the street. We embrace fear with massa on the job. We embrace fear with just about everything. He said that even when a leaf will move, a leaf will move, or the shadow or something, or just a tree will, he said we are scared and we're running away. And you would know that that's our people. Black folks, they hear something, they run. They don't want to know what it is. They just see another black man running, they run. That's because of the curse. You just run. And then you ask them, what am I running from? And they just like, I don't know. I saw them running, so I run. Huh? Now the thing about it, that you'll see that it's a curse, because the other set of people, white folks, they don't run, they run to it. They want to know, Johnny, hey, what's happening over there? I hear gunshots. Who's shooting? I'm not going anywhere. Hey, tell me later. Who got shot? I don't need to know that right now. Tell me after I get out, I clear the area and I get out of the area. They're running in talking about, hey, what happened there? You see that alligator? Yeah, oh yeah, what? Hey, here's a big one. Goops! Alligator doesn't jump right up at them. Black folks talking about, I ain't going over there. Because we got something there. But let's keep on going. We might finish a little early today, but I want to take you in this here journey here. Verses 5. Then Yahweh came down to see the city and the tower which the sons of men had built. And we know that's Yahushua, because we know he's going to return. That's why Yahushua was able to give the parable when he said not one stone would be left upon another. Here, because just like they were building and not one stone was left upon another there, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. So again, he could able to tell them not one stone will be left upon another, because I've done it before, I'll do it again. I came down when they was building the Tower of Babel and I destroyed their foundation. So guess what? That temple that you're building there ain't nothing for me to destroy and to rebuild, because I'm not coming down just to build a physical temple. I'm coming down to build my kingdom.
That's right.
And establish my works. So we're going to see this. Check this out. Yahweh said, look, They are one people. Did we say one people? But they want to tell us that there is a multitude, there is a mixed multitude, and they are different race of people down in Africa and Egypt in the beginning of time. No, in the beginning of time, this is in Africa. This is in a place called Babel, which is part of Africa. Where Iraq area, all this area over there, Babylon is a place where Iraq normally was known for. That's all part of Africa. Now, and they telling us that there are different race of people there. No, the word said there were one people. Then they said that. Have you read that?
One people.
It said what?
One people.
One people. Meaning the same people. Changes of the people have not come upon them yet. They have not received the order of change yet. It will come, but it's not yet. Sin will bring about the changes of the race of people. Sin brought about the other race of nations. Oh, you're probably saying, what? So you mean that those white folks and them Chinese people, they are out of sin? Yes. Sin brought about the different race of people. Some of you looking at me like, yeah, what, Pastor? Where you going with it? Sin. They were one people first. They did not have no changes or nothing did not happen yet. There was still one people in one region, one color, under the sun, being black by the sun. They have not received changes yet. So when changes come, it would be a separation from who you are will then produce the other people. You see, you have to, when you take something from something, then it will then leave the result not as strong as it was when it is in its original state.
Right. Right.
So here it goes. He said, and Yahweh said, look, they are one people, and they all have one language. They speak in the same thing, the same word. And there it said, and this is what they begin to do. And now they are not going to be withheld from doing whatever they plan to do. He said they got one mind and they have one plan, and they want to build a city. Now, if you notice, they still have that mind to build a city. They came back and wanted to build a city. They came back to one of the very region and wanted to build a city. And it's called Egypt. Henceforth, we got problems because the master will not just allow you to come in and build a city and reject him. They came back to Egypt and want to build a metropolis in Egypt. When they come back and started building the pyramids and building all of those, stone foundations, they wanted to show their power and their strength by their building and their capability of building a strong city. Well, we know what happened to the city in the end. So let's look and see. It said they had one language and they began to do and build, and he said whatever they plan to do, they'll do it. Come, let us go there and confuse their language, so that they do not understand one another's speech. Confusion started to come upon our people. Today, we are a people that are still dealing with confusion among our people. You have confusing languages that came from our people. They had one language, but now all of a sudden, sin has brought about multiple languages. Sin, I said, has brought about multiple languages.
That's right.
So now you're going to have the brother who is going to move to another region, that he is going to adopt the surrounding of the region and start looking like the region. So now, when you move into China, in that region that was there for probably some short people or whatever, they start that whatever the climate was there, their bodies start adjusting to that climate and that region. So now they start looking Chinese. They did not look like that when they were in one place before sin. So now they are moving away and they're going to the Caucasus Mountain, and now the cold climate is going to change their skin because the melanin in their skin is going to be extracted from them. The melanin that they have in their skin is now going to be extracted because of the region that they're going in. So sin is going to give you a retraction. Sin is going to give you lesser. Sin is going to take away something from the original, and it's going to bring something lesser. Henceforth,
Yes, sir.
you're going to get a nation that is lesser than us. Because he said that we are a great nation, and there is no nation on the earth that is as great as the people that he has chosen for himself.
Praise yeah.
So you're saying that it was black people that eventually become white people? Well, look at Sammy Sosa, and you tell me. Look at Lil Kim, and you tell me. Look at Michael Jackson, and you tell me. Sin has brought about some changes upon man. And now man is going to change his body, is going to change with sin, and he's going to look different, and he's going to act different. But eventually he's going to want to come back, because they always want to come back to the brother, or they always want to come back to the sister, or they always want to come back to look like us, have a butt like us, have a mouth like us, have a nose like us. They always want to come back to look like us because they are the extraction of us, and they want to come back to be what the original was.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yes, sir.
So let us see what's happening here. Verses 80 says, and Yahweh scattered them from there over the face of all the earth. And they left of building the city. That is why its name was called Babel. Confusion. Babel is a confused language. Babylon. Because there Yahweh confused their language of all the earth. And from there Yahweh scattered them over the face of all the earth. They were scattered from Babel, and once they were scattered, the language came. Once they were scattered, the appearance of the body changes. Once they were scattered, then the black cow start giving white milk. Then the retractions start coming. You start seeing the melanin that is in the skin. That give me another name for it again. That melon, the derma, that which is skin, become dirt. That all of that hue. That's what I'm talking about. The hue in the skin. That dark hue. That dark melanin that was retracted from us is now becoming them. You hear what I'm saying? When it is extracted from you, it becomes somebody else. It becomes them. And they don't like what they are seeing because they are not you anymore. They are them. Because when they used to be you, they used to focus in on the master before sin come in and become them.
Come on.
See what I'm saying? And before they were scattered, they were you. But when sin come in and you got the word to be scattered all over the region, then you become them. But you see, the ones that remain, he always leave a remnant.
Yes, sir.
In order to rebuild his people. There is always a remnant of the original in order to rebuild from the original.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So let us go. It says, so that is where, and in verse 10, he said, this is the genealogy of Shem. Was 100 years old and brought forth Arpachshad 2 years after the flood. So that only happened 2 years after the flood, right? Arpachshad came in 2 years after the flood. And that is the genealogy of Shem. Now, we are going to go through this because you were taught that you are Hamites. And black people came from Ham. And Ham was cursed. And we are the generation of the cursed people. And we are Hamites. But I'm telling you, even the very word black, it does not mean you. Because black men, pale and bleached out, and also lowly. So that's not you. That's you used to be somebody else that became black, that now black is not what we looking at. Black is not what we looking at. Black is them. That's what they used to. They used to be us, which is the original, but now they are black. So they're trying to tag you with it, but you go into Oxford on the lexicon and it will tell you that black is bleached out and pale, which is them. That came from you, which is bleached out and pale. So you are not black, you are bronze and they are black. So here we go. So this is the genealogy of Shem, right? It says he get Arpachshad 2 years after the flood. And after he had brought forth Arpachshad, I'm saying it right? Arpachshad, he brought forth Shem, lived for Shem lived for 500 and brought forth sons and daughters. And Arpachshad lived 35 years and brought forth Shelah. He said, and after he brought forth Shelah, he said, Arpachshad lived for 403 years and brought forth sons and daughters. And Shelah lived for 30 years and brought forth Eber or Eber. Eber in Hebrew or Eber is where you get the word from Hebrew. The word Hebrew came from that word. So if the word Hebrew came from that word, and that word came from Shem, not from Ham, so are you then a Hamite or you a Shemite? Because if this is a genealogy of Shem, and Eber came from Shem, which it came from Arpachshad, which is Shem, and the word Hebrew, by faith, we are Hebrew through Abraham. All right? So now, we are not Hebrews by genealogy of coming in that way. We are Hebrews by faith through Abraham. Okay? We're going to learn the distinction between Ysraelite and a Hebrew. Now a Hebrew can be anyone that believe in Abraham through faith. So you see that the faith of Abraham come in, but we're going to check this out, because we talk about Eber or Eber, which gave us the word Hebrew. So now, okay, so we know we get the word Hebrew. We know that it didn't come from Ham. So let's check this out. Because you have other Hebrews out there that are going to tell you that we are Hamites. And others are going to tell you all kinds of stuff. Or some are going to tell you they're Shemite, but they never prove it to you. They never show it to you. So you don't know. Because when you ask, well, how are you a Shemite? Well, I'm just a Shemite. And they don't explain the difference. But you're going to know the difference by the time you leave this place here today. So check this out. Verses 15. And after he brought forth Eber, Shelah lived for 100 403 years, 403 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. And Eber lived 34 years, and brought forth Peleg, which again is another major player in the Hebrew community. And after he brought forth Peleg, Eber lived for 130 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. And Peleg lived for 30 years, and brought forth Uru. And after he brought forth Uru, Peleg lived 209 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. And Uru lived 32 years, and brought forth Serug. It said, and after he brought forth Serug, Uru lived for 207 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. And Uru lived 30 years, and brought forth Noah. Noah, now we're not talking about the one with the ark. That's Nahor, but we're not talking about the same person. Sometimes it kind of confuse people. They think it is Noah and Nahor and is the same person. No, it's not the same person. So let's check this out. And after he brought forth Nahor, it said Serug lived 200 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. And Nahor lived 29 years, and brought forth Terah. Oh, that's where we are now. Terah, he brought forth Terah. But who is Terah? Let's go to the board for a minute. Let's go here for a minute, because we are going to break this down. And we are going to see whether or not we Hamites or Shemites. Shemite. The genealogy of Shem. Over here, Genesis 11:14, you know we just talked about Eber, or Eber, the word Hebrew. Can you see? Can all you see? So here, those of you that can't see, move over a little bit. So here in 11:26, you see that he brought forth, that's not Noah, but he also brought forth Terah. And Terah, who is Terah? Terah is Abraham's father, who also had Nahor, which is taking the name from his grandfather, so they give it to the grandson. And then you have Haran, which is a place where eventually they had gone down to Haran. So look at this. Now you have Abraham, Noah, Haran, and that's all from Terah.